Hey y'all, so today's conversation is about people who refuse to take accountability for their actions. People who just plain out refuse to take accountability for their actions. It's so dang on frustrating. So the thing is that I know some people have where they don't think well of themselves, and they in any little type of admission that they didn't do something right with their business, they taking it all personal and stuff like that. It's like, look, I'm trying to get a service from you. I ain't got time for you to deal with your mommy daddy issues you ain't resolved. I need you to put on your big girl panties or drawers and get me my dang on service without me having to deal with your dang on issues. Case in freaking point, my most recent book, The Predators Prey. You can get it at your favorite digital retailer by Samyra Alexander. Again, that's The Predators Prey by Samyra Alexander. So I have been following this lady online for like a year. She was always putting out really good ebooks, covers. She's a designer, and I was like, oh my God, I love everything she put out. True enough, this was my fault because she don't even make covers in my design. In my category that I write in like women's fiction. I also do psychological contemporary fiction. She do more urban street lit, but I figured she could still give me a really good freaking cover. She a designer, right? I was wrong. I even went to another author who I know she had worked with, and like one or two other authors told me, oh yeah, use her, she's good. I was even reading like under her comments about the different designs she would put up there, the covers, and people are like, oh, I want that, and I'm like, oh, okay, man, this is a good person to work with. Totally not. So I went to her and I said, look, I want the cover done before. I want a custom made cover. I want it done before my book. That way I don't have to wait. I really don't know what I want for the cover. Are you the type of person that I can give you my book description and you can come up with a cover? She's like, sure, I can have it for you in a day return. I paid her and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking it's good. A day come by, nothing. So I'm like, okay, I wasn't tripping, right? My book was still being edited, so I got time. So like 2 days later, I still haven't heard from her. I reached out. She's like, oh yeah, school this and school that. Problem freaking number one. I don't care what's going on in her life. Now, true enough, if she had a kid, her kid had COVID, death in the family, okay, but don't tell me about school and you got an assignment, because schools give you, when I used to go at least, at college, it would give you a syllabus in advance. You knew what was coming up. Typically, you wouldn't, it wouldn't shock you when you got a test because you knew what was coming up. So she should have already known her schedule before she even promised to do anything to me, right? Yeah, right. See, we're agreeing with one another. So that was the thing. So then finally I'm like, well, hey, where can I get the design? She keep on she finally give it to me, but it's like days after she promised. She tell me she'll have something to me by 5 o'clock. By 9 o'clock I don't hear from her. I'm reach out, I'm like, what's up? And she like, oh yeah, okay. And then, oh well, here it is. Oh, I have it to you in the morning. She could never, this happened like 4, 5, 6 times. She could never meet any of the deadlines, and it was always blaming on this happened. So she finally sent me the ebook cover, right? And the ebook cover is fine. I was able to upload it to Amazon, right? No problem. I also published my books in other markets. I uploaded it to that. That was fine. She gave me the paperback and I uploaded to Amazon, rejected it. But the good thing about Amazon is they'll tell you specifically why they rejected it. Apparently, like the specs or the bleed, whatever it's called, was off. So they gave the exact dimensions that it need to be. So I'm not tripping. It's never happened before. And I've published several books on Amazon and republished other ones on there. So I got a lot of experience in dealing with Amazon. No cover designers had ever been rejected except hers, but I wasn't tripping. I told her and she was like, oh, okay, let me fix it. She give it back to me. She fixed it again. It's messed up. By this time, the other places I published, I'm putting it on there. The other place rejected it. Then she sent me another one, and then Amazon rejected that. And then I end up sending it to the other place. They finally accepted it, but it was crazy because they partner with Amazon. And so I'm like, why would they accept it? And they partner with Amazon, and Amazon rejected it. Long story short, come to find out, the other place, you can only upload twice before they, the cover twice before they charge you. So now I got to pay $25 to remove the bed cover and to get the good cover. I go back to the designer, like, look, I told her once I finally read out what happened, like a week later, and she's like, oh, I never worked with them. You didn't say you were uploading to them. I think that's something with their system. And she kept blaming Amazon, because remember I said I had uploaded to Amazon twice. Well, they never accepted. She gave me 4 covers and they never accepted the covers. I told her, look, there's somebody I know who's done some work, done book covers for me before, changed other people's designs and dimensions. I can get her to do it. She kept on ignoring me. I had to say it 4 times, and finally I'm like, look, why do you keep ignoring me? Apparently you don't know what to do to get it on Amazon, which is strange. She makes covers. Maybe she just make ebooks for other people, but she wouldn't take responsibility. She like, oh, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't want somebody else to mess up the design when I'm sitting right at the computer and I can just keep working on this. I'm like, she's like, all I got to do is keep tweaking it. I'm like, it's not about tweaking it. Amazon specifically gave you the dimensions. You go in and you fix the dimensions however you do it. It's not about a tweak. Amazon is not leaving it up to a guess. She couldn't even take responsibility that apparently she didn't know math, the dimensions of algebra, whatever. I was bad at math or whatever. She don't know geometry or whatever it takes to fix this simple problem that any designer should know. How are you selling covers that can't get accepted by the #1 freaking seller of these ebooks and paperbacks in America, Amazon? And so she's like, I can just keep doing it for you. I'm like, 4 covers have already been rejected. When are you going to tap out and say you just don't know how to do it? I said, give me the money plus the tip, because where I go, it takes a tip to get it done. And I can have this other woman do it. And finally, she kept going back and forth with me, justifying herself. Amazon always does this. Amazon, then she started lying, talking about she went to Amazon and they told her the problem wasn't on her end. They just didn't know how to accept her type of cover. You know that's a lie. How many people upload to Amazon, traditional publishers, indie publishers? I know good and well Amazon has not sat there and told her she wasn't to blame. So she was like, well, if you just give me your password, I can just keep playing. So I can let her play with it all day, so I can keep getting error messages from Amazon. I'm pinging on my dang on email. I'm not giving you access to my private information on Amazon, my bank accounts and all that stuff. So she finally was like, okay. So I took the money, paid somebody else to do it, and guess what? The other woman I paid got it done the first time. I said, what was wrong with it? She said the other person didn't have it, the dimensions were off. It didn't fit Amazon's requirements. She was like, that's all. She was like, but you got it done, just move on, just leave the other woman alone, whatever. So that was that. But like I said, I ended up having to threaten the first designer, because when she kept on acting like she didn't want to pay, and I didn't only ask her for like $15. This other person is very cheap. I asked for $15 back of my money so I can get the paperback fixed, and she didn't want to do that. And finally I said, look, we both on Facebook together. We both know a lot of authors. I hope to keep this between us, but if I have to blast you out online, I will do it, because I'm asking you something simple, and I'm not about to keep on uploading covers, because I have to do it on all the sites. Every site is rejecting, so I gotta send her another email. They rejected it. She sent me back another one. I gotta go to the different sites and put them on. Who got time for all that stuff? And then when I went to her again, once I found out that the paperback was accepted by the other agency, even though it shouldn't have been accepted, and that now when you go to look at the book, the paperback looks kind of funky, and I'm like, I don't want it looking like that. I gotta take it down and put up the right one. And she going back and forth. I don't know that company. That's on them. You didn't tell me you were using them. You know, I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I don't have to tell you where I'm using my covers that I paid for. When you make them for me, and I can do whatever I want. The thing is she's like, I know I was making it for Amazon. Excuse me, sweetie. The thing is, they work with Amazon and they upload to Amazon books and things. So I said, they're the same as Amazon when it comes to the paperback requirements. And she's just going on and on, blaming all types of things, talking about she's here trying to work with me. I don't have to threaten to blast her. I said, look, you don't tell me how you treated me. You don't get to tell me how I respond to that. And it's just like, it was so infuriating if you can't tell. It's just like she just had an excuse for everything. Everybody else was their fault. She could never be wrong. And then I started talking to her crazy. I'm like, I can tell you have a hard time taking responsibility in this situation. Look, I'm like, look, you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to sleep at night. However, I'm done with you with this. I'm done playing with you. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you. Then she was using this super, I don't know what it's called. It's like this super fake preppy type voice, and you can tell it's fake. And then she finally started coming down to her like regular voice and trying to get like an attitude. And I just kept going bad on her, because I'm like, I'm not about to keep talking to her. She keep leaving me these dang on messages on Messenger for like 2 and 3 minutes, blaming everybody. And then she even tried to blame the other woman who fixed it for me, talking about, well, if that site, I never even heard of them, and if that woman, all she had to do was do this, X, Y, and Z to get it to work on that site. I said, sweetie, if you knew how to fix it, you would have fixed it, and the other woman wouldn't have had to come into the picture. I said, Amazon accepted hers. I said, and this other place that I uploaded will accept it too, but I have to pay $25 now to move the bad ones you gave me, you know, so I can upload the right one, because it's a penalty that I got because I had uploaded 2 of her bad ones on the other side. So when I tell you this, she just kept, and then as soon as she would, and the reason it happened like that, because instead of her telling me she didn't know what she was gonna do, she like, upload this. When I upload it, it's rejected. Upload this, it's rejected. And then as soon as I uploaded like the 3rd one to Amazon, she immediately sent me another one. Oh, I changed it, upload this. I'm like, excuse me, I just uploaded the 3rd one to Amazon. You said that one was right. And so the problem is here. I'm putting this, y'all, I'm taking, so she ended up giving me what, like 25, 30, about $45 or something back of the money that I paid, you know. And then at the end, the little brain dead child or whatever has the nerve to tell me, well, we're done now, you know, after this it's over. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's over. And I said, and if you had any good customer service, you would have refunded me all my money after all of the trouble you did. And I said, and I had to, and it's sad that I had to come to you to ask for some of it back to get another person to fix it. And you never took accountability for nothing this entire time. You've met no deadline and always got a dang on excuse for something. But she called herself getting rid of me when she the one that's the dang on problem. The nerve of some of these people, it's like, I don't know if these personality disorder, if these just character issues. But the reason I said I blame me is because she, I'm not gonna say her title, but her business name, I'll just say, got stuff in it like spoiled and brat, childish, stuff like that, that should have let me know that that was a problem. Because if you're a grown woman and you doing business, but you got spoiled or brat, childish, baby-like or something, you know, tantrum mama number 55, that should have been of, and then her emails were even like that too. I mean, her email address is even like that. For instance, tantrumbaby11@gmail. You know, that should have let me know that she was unprofessional. Facebook, Instagram, everything. For instance, it got Brett, you know, for her what is that, tag names. So that was my fault, y'all. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, y'all. I got, like I said, I got my new book released. You can find that information down in the bottom. You can get it Barnes and Noble. It's in hardback now. It's an audiobook too. I got it done in audiobook with artificial intelligence. So if you get it, you gotta let me know how to the narrator sound, because it's digital. It ain't real people, y'all. So hey, because it's like $1,000-something over to have real people do it in. I ain't trying to pay that, not right now. But anyway, if you want to book a session with me, you can do that down below as well. I've been having people reach out to me, Samyra, how do I book a session? Y'all, I believe I said at the end of every video, the information is down below. Go through VisiBook. I don't accept insurance, y'all. I don't. I'm just not unable to. It lets you know what my rates are there. All the information you need about how to book a session with me is down in VisiBook, and I'd love to hear from you. Take care.